Hello Internet, it's me again. I have a few things I want to talk about this week. First thing is books. I finished reading 2 books this week. The first one I want to talk about is The Catcher in the Rye. I'd forgotten how sad and amazing and heartbreaking this book is, because I read it first when I was really young, and I saw the younger me in the Holden that the story happens to. I was him in many ways a few years ago, and still am in some ways. I am still growing and still trying to become more like the Holden I related to more this time, which is the Holden that tells the story. The Holden that can actually generate empathy in other people. The one that can tell the story that happened to him in such a compelling way that makes you want to understand his pain and his anguish at what becoming a grown-up in some ways is to him. So it basically just helped me remember why everyone that is a teenager or was a teenager should read this book. The second book I want to talk about is one that I was really excited to finally be able to read. A friend lent it to me, and it's Looking for Alaska. I've been wanting to read it for like a few months now, and it was really exciting to get to finally read it. I don't usually cry when I read. Like, my eyes will water, but I don't usually like outright cry. And as I was reading this, tears were just like pouring down my face. I love how John Green manages to capture so much of what it is to be a teenager, of how hard and sometimes really heartbreaking it is to become your true person, and how it feels to sometimes drink too much or not really know why you do some things you do, why you follow along with some things that you don't necessarily agree with. And yet he manages to write the most moving, saddest story I have read in such a long time. I feel like it's a book that everyone should read, and a book that anyone, no matter your age, your gender, your background, everyone can enjoy it, because it speaks to how hard it is to grow up. So that's it for books. 2 wonderful, beautiful books, both about growing up and knowing who you want to become, which I found really, really interesting still. Finally, things from my life. This Friday I got the chance to go to a public school not far from where I am, and we had the chance to sit with 2nd grade kids and read with them for an hour, which was an amazing experience. It's really exciting to see kids that are so young be so passionate about reading. These are kids that don't necessarily have the best living conditions, but get home and make their parents sit and read with them. So that's a really exciting and encouraging thing to see. And it's nice to be a part of their growth process and to get them excited about new books and about having new reading experience. So that was really nice. Finally, I want to talk about something that's been worrying me a lot, that I've seen in a lot of people around me. And it just worries me that well into the 2nd year of college, there's people that still think it's cool and acceptable to get blackout drunk every weekend, and to use the fact that you're not yet completely responsible for yourself as an excuse to be a mess. It's not okay. Like, when we start college, we acquire responsibilities to ourselves and to our families and to our societies that we will use these 4 years to become better people, to learn things that will help us be more useful to society when we are fully responsible. It is not an excuse to party 4 years. I'm not saying don't party at all. I enjoy partying, but everything has reasonable limits. And when you are using every weekend to drink everything that crosses your path, you are not being responsible to the opportunity you're being given to get an education. And I just find it worrying that this is what our society portrays as cool. That was kind of heavy, but these are my thoughts of the week. These are the things that have been happening. I will see you next week.